Is it worth $2,000? No, that's so expensive for a point and shoot. Did you ever struggle with feeling insecure about not being in a serious relationship until your late 20s? Best way to combat comparison is through gratefulness. That in action means serving others. Welcome to a new vlog. We're gonna kick off today's vlog by doing a little Contax T3 point and shoot 35mm camera review. So I have fallen back in love with my T3 over the summertime, and as we're inching into fall here in Seattle, we're still holding on to summer. I'm still able to wear some sundresses and I'm loving every moment of it, but every time of year is a good time to start shooting. But fall is really fun because you have lots of activities going on in your personal life. You're going to the pumpkin patch, you're going to Halloween parties, you are enjoying the fall foliage, maybe you are going back to school, and using point and shoot cameras is a really fun way to document these personal memories. Of course, you can also incorporate something like this into your business, but what I have been using it for over the summertime is documenting my personal life. So I mentioned in my previous vlog that I had tried a new film lab out in Seattle, and I was so over the moon about how the images turned out, and it just really concluded for me that this is my favorite point and shoot camera. However, there are budget-friendly alternatives. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a film camera if you are not ready to make the leap. Huge thank you to KEH for sponsoring this video. KEH is where you can buy, sell, trade in, and repair camera equipment, both film and digital. It's where I actually bought my very first film camera from. Let me go grab it actually. Okay, so I originally discovered KEH because my mom had a Minolta X370. You can see right here, this is completely broken and busted. That's why the sensor is wide open, because I swapped out the lens on the other one. I learned to shoot on film using this camera. It worked out fine, but I had to carry around with me like a screwdriver because this top piece right here was missing. Here's the one I got from KEH to replace it. So this pulls back and then you lift it up to open up the back of the camera to wind up the film, and having to do it with a screwdriver was such a headache. I found a camera place, this is when I was living in New York at the time, that could repair it at Bryant Park, but it was going to cost even more to repair the camera. So instead I just went online and I looked for Minolta X370. Right here you can see Minolta X370, and I found KEH. It was a lot more appealing to me to buy through this company versus a third-party auction site or like a social media marketplace, because I saw that everything was quality inspected. So I ordered it to my apartment. It came within 2 days. It was shipping out of Atlanta, which is where they're based, and I am so happy that I discovered KEH all those years ago. So if you're curious why there is this electrical tape over the Minolta logo, that's just because sometimes for like brand work, I can't have any logos, and so I just keep this over this camera because this is like my favorite camera to pose with, but it's also my favorite beginner film camera. So that's how I discovered KEH, and you can add yourself to the waitlist, wish list for the Contax T3. There's also a Contax T2, which is a actually not slightly, it's a much larger point and shoot camera. So let's talk first about the size of this guy. Now, I've done a full review about the specs of this camera, who I think it's most suited for, why I don't think it's worth it for some people, and I go more in detail in that video. So if you're interested, I will have it linked on the iCard, but I just want to do like a refreshed review after using it, and it's fresh in my mind for the summertime. I bought this actually at a store in Copenhagen, and that's also where I bought this $15 Olympus point and shoot. I love the size of it. Look at how tiny, and look at how narrow this part is. There's no bulky things that pop out. For reference, here's the iconic Lululemon fanny pack, right? This fits in it perfectly. I usually have it like this, and I could still fit everything else. When it comes to auto, that is what I shoot on. I shoot on P with this camera right here. This is auto mode, and then you can adjust and have full control over the aperture, so the f-stop. So sometimes I will like to switch it to be at 2.8 if I want the depth of field to be really nice and blurry. And now one thing is though, you kind of have to get used to it. If you're going to get this camera, you press this button down and then at the same time turn it. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. Shooting in auto is nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to 35mm point and shoot cameras. It's accurate and you don't want to have to think about it too much. Pull it out of your purse, shoot, pop it back in, and you know that the image is going to be accurate. This camera is very hard to find and it's in high demand. So the price point of the Contax T3 is a lot higher. Right now in 2022, you're looking at $1,400 up to $2,000. I think it's worth $1,000. Is it worth $2,000? No, that's so expensive for a point and shoot. However, that's where you have to determine its value because the price is no longer accurate to the camera. If the answer is yes, like if you are a professional photographer and maybe you even shoot on film already, then I think that this camera would be worth it for you. But if you are somebody who is graduating from disposable cameras to a point and shoot because you want it to be more economic, then you probably just want to go with something like this little Olympus. This takes the same kind of film. It's not going to produce the same quality of image. However, if you are just using this for personal use and you are going with a point and shoot camera, you've been shooting on film lately because you love the aesthetic of it, you will be very happy with this camera. There is no reason for you to spend $1,600 to $2,000 on this guy until you've determined if it's going to be worth it for you. So maybe after shooting with this during the fall and the winter, you might ask for some money to put towards this for the holiday season. But this is what I would recommend you start out with, just to make sure that it is going to be a worthwhile investment for you, because that is a very expensive price for a point and shoot camera. You can find so many options, whether you want the T3 from Contax or whether you want something under $200, a little Olympus, a little Fuji moment, you can find them on KEH. I have a free photography Facebook group. It's called Build and Bloom, and so many members of the community have raved about KEH. KEH is gonna be your best place to find used equipment. Even if you're like, oh my gosh, I want to get the R5 or the R6 camera from Canon, like I want to go mirrorless, you can go on KEH and get that. It doesn't have to be just film camera. It doesn't have to be the Minolta X370. You can get the newest film cameras as long as somebody's selling them, then KEH has them available. You can also get like tripods and video equipment. There's really no reason to buy a new when so much is available used, and it's also better for the planet too. So love them. I am so happy to be working with them in this video. So Fridays for me are pretty chill. I am just feeling really good. I had a productive work week and it's the first day of my period on the birth control where I did the full cycle. To catch you up, I started birth control I think in June or July, and I went 2 months by skipping the period placebo row in the pills. So that row is at the very end and it makes you have a period basically. But I skipped it. Long story short. All of August, I basically had a period, and then September was fine, and then this is my September row of the period where I've gotten back into following the doctor's orders and taking the birth control the way it's meant to be taken and not skipping the period row. I really thought I could outsmart this system in the human body. Anyway, it was stupid, but this is my first time experiencing my proper like period on it, and it feels like it's day 4 for me. Usually my period, day 1, is the most excruciating thing. It feels like I'm going into labor, and Advil and ibuprofen can only help so much. Hi, beautiful. But today it is so light. I have the smallest amount of cramps. Like I probably wouldn't even need to take ibuprofen if I didn't want to, but I like to because I still don't like how cramps feel. I'm kind of like, oh my goodness, look at, you're so beautiful. His haircut looks so silly. whenever he gets it short for the first like week or so. They blow his hair out so it's not as curly, and it's just so funny to me. Hi, baby. Oh, look at that. So I'm feeling really good, all things considered, and last week was really hard on me mentally. I shared that in my previous vlog. I've never opened up so much before on YouTube, and I'm really glad that I can. And this week I got back into my routine, so I'm about to head out to, I need to go to Costco and do a little bit of grocery shopping. I need to go to a recycling place and drop off like some soft plastics for recycling, and then go to Orange Theory, and then I'll have met my 4 times a week goal. And I'm just starting to feel a lot more like myself. I was telling my boyfriend last night how like all this summer I was so just, the birth control was messing me up, and now, like my doctor said, give it 3 months. I feel like I can stay on it. I don't need to switch anything. I feel like myself as long as I am exercising and going on walks, and like, because I already struggle with my mental health. I struggle with depression. I struggle with anxiety. I mostly, though, depression more than anything. And I feel fine. I feel like myself, you know. I'll still have days here and there, and last week was really hard. Basically, what I'm saying is, now that the birth control I know isn't affecting me the same way that it was like all summer, I'm feeling really good. So I'm going to go give Bumblebee his little snack, let him out, and then get dressed and ready for Orange Theory. I'll share my outfit before I change because it's super cute, and it's like one of the last outfits of summertime, I think. My headband is from And Other Stories, and then so is my dress. I love the colors of this dress. It's silk. It was a random add to cart purchase this summer, and it was one of the best purchases of the summertime. I just love it so much. And then my necklaces are super cute. This turquoise one up here is from my friend Maggie Villamaria from years and years and years ago, and I just love it. My lipstick is worn off, but I love the combo today. Lipstick combo is Pink in the Afternoon from Revlon with Charlotte Tilbury. This is my favorite lip liner. It's called Pink Venus. And then this Laura Mercier gloss in the color Cream Caramel. I love the Laura Mercier glosses. They're so good. Happy Monday from Bumblebee and I. Bumblebee got his haircut on Friday, and they cut it so short. It's too short, but he feels comfortable, and it's still quite hot here. Like, it's 80 degrees here in Seattle, so he is loving it. But he always looks like he is just a completely different dog, like a whole different breed with his short hair. He's so cute, and I think his tongue is sticking out a little bit. So today's Monday, and I have a day at the computer ahead of me. And it was one of those days where I said I was just gonna do like brows and mascara and like really simple concealer for my makeup, and I ended up doing like a full face, and I love it. I thought I would do some self-portraits today, but I don't think that's gonna happen with my schedule that I have, but I just love it. I think it's so cute. Discovered the key to doing eyeliner after 27 years. I just have to do it really, really thin, and I actually drag it down. So I love it. I'm so proud of myself. And then I did a peach blush. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do photos, but it always kind of makes me feel a bit better to have like a colorful eyeshadow. Oh my goodness, look at his little tongue sticking out. Oh my goodness. So Bumblebee's a rescue dog. He turned 11, we think about 11 last month. I adopted him August 2019, so his birthday's in August. He's just so cute. So I'm gonna put Puffy down. His nickname is Puffy, which doesn't suit him so well. I nicknamed him that during the pandemic, when like the groomer places were closed and his hair got so long and curly, he was just so puffy. So yeah, today it's not gonna be too much. I do have like a question about being in a relationship for the first time in your late 20s that I want to answer. So I'll probably do that when I have a bit of a computer break, but today it's just at the computer, and I am doing my secret stories on pricing. So every week I do a secret story on my close friends list. Just DM me close friends and I'll add you to it. I'll talk about like my workflow. I'll talk about what's in my camera bag, what's worth it, what's not to buy. This week I'm talking about when to raise your rate. And I cover it in like a really long form off the cuff. It almost feels like a podcast style. On the topic of pricing, I am going to be teaching a live 3-day pricing boot camp at the very end of October. I'll have it linked down below. It'll also be on my Instagram bio link. Here's a full list of everything you're gonna learn, but the key things are how to price your photography, how to charge for travel fees, and also how to raise your rates. I go way more in depth about raising your rates, but today I'm covering a little bit on my secret stories. So if you're interested in the live boot camp for pricing your photography, I will have it linked down below, as well as my online course that is evergreen, so you can watch it at any time, all about pricing as well. But I just wanted to offer the live training since my website and branding boot camp did so well last month. I'm going to continue on with my day, but I'm going to share my outfit and then like my makeup details for you. First up is my outfit. This is my favorite dress of all time. It's from Abercrombie. I have worn it in so many vlogs. I have it in white, pink, this is blue, and it's just so cute. And the sleeves are the perfect puffiness. They are proportionate, they're not overwhelming, and they also can go into like, I have a leather jacket, so the sleeves are quite tight on it, and it fits perfectly in there without it bulging. For my lipstick, this is my favorite lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. It's a nice peach, it's called Dance Floor Princess. And I am almost out. And I didn't do it with liner, but if I did, I use this one, Pink Venus from Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so for my eyes today, so I use this palette from ColourPop. It's called Blue Moon. Super simple and basic. I think this palette is, you can get it on sale for like $10 all the time. I use this color, and then I used this from Milani, and I put it on a brush. It's just a liquid shadow, and then I'll show you where I placed it, and then I used this on my waterline from LA Girl. So I took this liquid shadow, I put it on a brush. I might have even put it on my finger at one point, and then I carried it, since I have really hooded eyes, I carried it all the way to the top here, and then I put a little bit underneath. And then I just used this liner on my waterline. It's kind of already melted off quite a bit, but I think it's so cute. And then, oh, the other key thing, was my blush. So Laura Mercier just released a ton of these peachy, glowy, rose gold blushes. This one is in Peach Shimmer, and it's perfect. I actually used to have this blush from Wet n Wild called Apricot in the Middle, and it was the perfect peach color for me. It suited me so well, and then also like the finish was a shimmer, and I've never been able to find a blush better than that until I found this one from Laura Mercier. On the camera it looks more brown, but it's perfect, and the consistency, it's beautiful. So that's what I used today. So that's my makeup and outfit details. Now this is a bit overexposed. If you saw the brushes on the counter, don't be alarmed. Those are getting washed. That's that. I'm gonna get to work, and then I will check in later this evening. My eyes need a break from the computer screen, and I want to answer this question about dating and being in a relationship in your mid and late 20s, in my case, my late 20s. I need to clarify, being in my first relationship. So I have not been in a relationship until I was 27. I didn't start dating until last year when I was 26, and I had no intention or interest in being in a relationship at the time. And, you know, I wanted to be in a relationship when I was like in high school, but once I hit college, from 19 up until this year, when I met my boyfriend, I really didn't care about being in one. But I did have a question that I thought would be really interesting to answer, and maybe would be encouraging for anybody who is in the same position where you haven't started dating, or you've only begun, you're in your late 20s or your mid 20s, or maybe earlier 20s. Maybe you haven't had your first kiss yet. I just thought that this would be kind of encouraging. So I'm not going to be sharing about, like, I don't feel comfortable sharing, and I don't want to share about my relationship like online, but I do think that talking about things in terms of just from my own experience are okay, like outside of the actual relationship I'm in. So that's what I'm comfortable sharing. And so somebody wrote on Instagram DMs, did you ever struggle with feeling insecure about not being in a serious relationship until your late 20s? And if you did, how did you process those feelings? Currently turning 25 soon, and I've never had a boyfriend. So I answered her on DMs, but I wanted to share here too. Up until I met my boyfriend, I really didn't care to be in one, and I think that's a big factor to my environment. So how I was raised, my parents never pressured me to feel the need to get married. I know in a lot of like religious households like mine was, you have maybe that extra pressure because marriage is a really important thing in a lot of religions, and sometimes parents can make it a really important priority. But my parents never did, and they didn't ever really care for me to date. I was allowed to if I wanted to, but I really didn't care. And so when I went into college, I was so busy in college and just trying to survive New York City once I moved there. It wasn't until last summer that I started dating because my mom was like, you should consider doing this. Like, why haven't you yet? And I dated. I didn't care to be in a relationship. So we can talk more about that another time. I never had a bad experience. Everyone that I went out with was pretty nice. But anyways, once I met my boyfriend, then I was like, oh my gosh, on the first date, I wanted to be in a relationship with him. I was like obsessed. So with that all being said, growing up, I never had that pressure. And then also, most of my friends were not dating either until this stage in our life, in our late 20s. Of course, I would have one or two friends that I would meet in my mid and late 20s who were already married. But growing up, I'm thinking of like my best friend, Jenny, who I've been friends with for 7 years. She was in that same boat where she didn't really desire to date or be in a relationship. And the same goes for a handful of my friends. And so anyway, that being said, so that's my personal experience, but I wanted to share like what I would do if I was feeling discouraged about not being in a relationship yet or feeling insecure about it. Yesterday, Jenny shared this quote on her Instagram story that was like, trust the timing of your life. And when she posted that, I was like, I have to answer this question now because the quote is so good. You have to trust the timing of your life, and you cannot compare yourself to other people because you do not know how they grew up and how they were raised. And so maybe if their parents were really pressuring them to date, if they had an older sibling who was always dating, or maybe they just had the desire to start dating. It really, you can't compare yourself to other people. But I did want to say that I think that the best way to combat comparison is through gratefulness and thankfulness. That in action, gratefulness in action means serving others. And sitting in bed and, wanting a boyfriend and then being like, but I'm so thankful that I have my dog and I have this and that. That's not going to be the key. That's not going to work long-term, big picture for, combating those feelings of comparison. But what will work is putting thankfulness in action, and that is donating your time and your talent, because it's going to shift the focus from me to we, just generally speaking, in all areas of life. And I'm not saying that you need to ignore your desires, but you do have to trust the timing of your life. Remember too that your 20s, you're still so young. If you don't have the desire to be in a relationship, that's so normal and that's so fine. Also with social media too, especially for girls, we have the narrative of being in a relationship constantly fed to us, and it's not the only narrative. And I think that if you can be aware of that and just like the societal expectations of you and realizing that you don't have to meet those expectations, I hope that can answer the question. And for anybody else who feels like they're in the same position, good morning. It is Tuesday and I just made my bed, obviously, but I wanted to highlight these pillows because they've totally transformed my bed. They're just from Costco, from the brand Sealy, and you can get a pack of 2 for like $21. I love my linen bedding. It's from the Citizenry. It's so cozy and comfy and lush, but The pillows that I had before were just a hodgepodge from over the years, and they were very flat. And I feel like now my bed, I mean, I did kind of the minimal effort possible. Everything's like shifted this way, but but now I feel like it looks so much better with just these pillows, and they're super comfy too. They're not too bulky or anything. So check out Costco. This blanket is from Aviva Stanoff, and then so are these chartreuse pillows, which match my chartreuse ceiling. This is about as much effort as I'm going to put into cleaning up my room today. There's just random bits, you know, this could all get rejigged. I have, this is Bumblebee's little ramp. This is like the best body butter ever. It's from Caudalie. Love Caudalie products. But yeah, headband, and then I have some clothes that I need to fold up that I brought over from my closet. This is looking super cute. I think I shared this in my previous vlog, but I have finally kind of found a piece that suited the top. So I really wanted to bring over more of the chartreuse color because I have quite a bit of it going on this side. It's super pretty. Love all these little books and the super patinaed brass. And this side has a lot more white and not any chartreuse. And so I found this box, very overpriced, at a store in Sumner. I shared that in a vlog. I think it looks so cute and really finishes off the shelving. And I have these little guys. These are from a store in Ballard that's very Scandinavian. I don't know the name of it, but I thought these are really cute. And this candle doesn't really go, but I love it. So I want to get some kind of art piece to put right here. And then I'd also like to get something to put here. If you guys have any suggestions for any art prints that are chartreuse, let me know, because I think that would be really cool to do one here and then one here. I don't want to do anything too contemporary. I kind of want to keep it a little bit vintagey just to kind of carry over this. I would love to get something that has like this kind of print on it. Love florals, vintage floral-y stuff. I've gotten a bit of work done, but I need to go back to my desk. I just couldn't, whenever I don't make my bed when I first get up, and when I do not do the dishes and like clean up the kitchen before I go to bed, I just can't focus in the morning. And today, both of those things needed to get done. So that's what I did, but I'm gonna go back to work. Tomorrow I have a photo shoot. I'm gonna do a separate vlog for that because this one is getting a bit long. Here's my outfit, super simple. It's just this little cardigan from LA Apparel. And then I have my shorts from Aritzia. These are the Effortless shorts. I'm gonna hop back on the computer and then I will check in a couple of hours. I believe that I found the perfect pair of jeans. And I also love this ASOS jean. I've had these for years, this style, and you can get them for like $20. So I'll talk about them in a minute, but I bought a pair of jeans from Reformation a couple of weekends ago, and I just got them in the mail because I got them hemmed. I got them at U District. I discovered Reformation. I mean, I've always known about them, and I kind of thought it was overrated a couple of years ago, but something about it now, I think it's the sundresses this summer that really got me. Here they are, and look at this rise. This is like 12 inches. It goes above my belly button, which I love. And the same is for these ASOS jeans. So I got these in a 24 and I'm a 25 in the jeans, but they said that they would stretch, so I sized down one. Very, very cute. So I'll try these on, but I did want to talk about also another option, which are these ASOS jeans. So I have these ASOS jeans in 2 washes. The first wash that I have and that I love is the super clean indigo. They're also very soft. The quality isn't like the best on the earth where it's really thick denim, but I haven't had a pair rip and I've had these for years. So I think for the price point, it's a great option. And then I also have this lighter wash, which is also very clean, exact same style. So you can see kind of the difference, okay, between the washes, right? So I'll have them linked down below. I'm gonna try all 3 on, they'll be linked. And I'm really excited because I haven't put these on since I tried them on a couple weeks ago at the store. They're so cute, so I'm excited. Okay, before I show you the jeans, I do have to shout out, probably for the last time. I mean, I might be able to get a couple more weeks wear out of this depending on Seattle weather, but I have to shout out these shorts from Aritzia. These are the Effortless short. Now I have the pants, I love the pants, but I wasn't so sure about these And then I went back a couple weeks later to Aritzia and I tried them on again and I was like, yes, I love these. I've worn these multiple times during the week, all summer long. They're the best purchase. The belt loophole is wide enough to fit so many different belts. I usually would wear like this white crocheted belt with these and just looks so cute. Almost looks like Zimmerman, but these are perfection. The cut is so comfortable. So if you guys see them on sale, definitely go for it. Just size up 1. So I'm typically a 0, but in these and in the pants, I'm a 2. Here are the jeans and they're a little bit tight right now. They need to get stretched out. I'm going to put them in the wash, but I really, really like them. I'm not really sure how I feel about the way that they're hemmed, honestly. I don't really know how I like the way that it's like flaring out. I feel like if it was just taken in like just a tiny bit more. They're comfortable as far as jeans go, but the most comfortable are the ASOS. So I'm just going to try on the dark pair because number one, the light pair just got washed and it takes me a minute to stretch those things out right now, especially as I'm coming off of my period, but they're the best. So if you like this style, you're going to love the ASOS. And I actually just cut the hem of one of them, and then the other style I would just get in like, on ASOS you can pick the length. So I just got it in my proper length. But yeah, let me know, you guys, what do you think about the way that these have been hemmed? It definitely didn't look like this in the store. It was a little bit more tapered. Here are the ASOS jeans. These are so comfortable. Okay, they're not like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm wearing sweatpants because you have like all of this. But as far as like the leg goes, it's super comfortable and soft. So the denim's a little bit thinner. It's not as high quality, but for the price point, it's good. I just love these. They're super cute. I'll have all 3 options linked down below. And I'm gonna get back to work. Tomorrow I have a photo shoot, and also I wanted to do a studio tour. I haven't ever done one. I've shared like updates, but now that I have my closet organized and that I have this wall calendar situation set up, I shared that in a previous vlog, I think I'm ready to do a tour. So let me know if you would like me to do that in the next one. But I'm gonna end up this vlog so the new one can begin tomorrow. I have a photo shoot and I'll be vlogging that. Be sure to hit subscribe so you're the first to know when new free tutorials for your business come out. Don't forget to check out KEH, bookmark them for later. They are the best place to buy used camera gear. And if you want to be added to my close friends list so you can get in on my secret stories, DM me over on Instagram, close friends, and I'll add you. I'll see you over in my next video. Click right here to watch and to learn. I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching.